Cool. That's fine. Yeah. I guess, I want to check what achievements I don't have for this. Oh. Right. Yeah, I need to start playing Mass Effect.
I dodged death many a time, and that night in Abilene was no different. I was there with the intention of finding that bastard Bob and collecting the bounty on John Wesley. Watch where you're shooting.
What was I saying? Yeah, I need to start playing Mass Effect.
I thought the Texas Rangers got hardened.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. It was cold in a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way past his loyal compadres. To the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood. Hardin was waiting for me, and
I finished, I did the first mission, and then, I don't know, on the Citadel, just, I got a bit bored.
Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that much.
I know.
Don't you think so, Ben?
It's,
John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he
it's a bit heresy to have a go at the Mass Effect series, at least the first trilogy, but
folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men set up camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
Shit, it's cold out here. I'm freezing my giblets off.
Ain't right, we gotta stay out here. Damn it! Shoot that son of a bitch!
They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. As most of them were wanted as well. I figured Hardin was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that camp. He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcomed presence.
yeah, I'll start replaying Mass Effect, I guess. I've got the DLCs and stuff for it. I know that they've released the Legendary Edition or whatever, but I'll probably stick with playing it on backwards compatibility. Get the genuine experience.
I wondered if Bob was among them.
Headshot.
And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better.
Oh. I don't care that Windows 11 is ready, thank you.
Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however, I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers. Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story. I didn't learn until later that that night was in fact his birthday celebration.
Oh, that wasn't even the guy I was trying to hit. Oh damn, these pistols are not.
I think I already mentioned that I found Hardin in this very saloon.
I will say that new Fables does not look very good.
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me. In fact, I felt a certain hostility. I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived. As a moment later, I was facing down the fastest gun in the West.
The fastest gun in the West. No, I'm tired.
I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him. That man was faster than greased lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
Wait, what? Do I not kill him?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless Avenger took his life. Shot him in the back at a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben?
Yeah, that's what I mean, man. In the Wild West, you get on the wrong side, someone just comes in and just absolutely kills you.
Thank you, darling.
Oh, I love
some
tea.
say revenge is a dish best served
Honestly, as
cold.
bad as it sounds, I'm so glad that Britain
So
conquered
whatever
India.
happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your
If
other
I didn't have
adventures.
tea, I'd
Like,
kill someone as
I
well,
don't know,
probably.
Do you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation.
Oh, this is when we get to kill the Indians. I remember
put on
that.
Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven.
Isn't this what all men
Grey
dream
Wolf was
of?
a Chiricahua
To hunt
Apache
down
medicine
an
man
indigenous
who had led a
people and
war
wipe them
party
out.
in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death. Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him.
Oh, give me a sec. My dogs are going ballistic because of the mailman. Oh, damn it. Okay, that's that sorted with. Oh. It's chasing the sky. Na, 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 na. Ah, dogs, man. Ah, yeah.
They saw
You
me.
gotta love
I
them.
saw them.
But dogs can also be a massive pain in the behind. Especially if they don't like the mailman.
And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting has started, there was no backing down.
Oh, hello. Whoa! Where'd he come from? That's not fair.
They saw me before I saw them.
So there's some guy with a knife in that house. Oh no, I guess he came up behind me.
It was rugged
Oh
country,
man.
the winter home of the Chiricahuas.
Yeah,
That's
Red
why
Dead.
they retreated there.
I want to play that again. Haven't played it in a little bit. Not properly anyways. Started playing it, like, in the last stream I said I started playing it at the start of the year. For about 2 months.
I admit to
I
having some
grinded
regrets
it
about
pretty
going
hard. I
after
got
the
from like
boy
level
I did.
6 to level
But then
100.
again,
But
I got a lot of those.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their home.
Oh, damn it.
A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you're in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
Cussedness. Wow, he can rapid fire, can't he?
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the wall.
Woo.
How big was his cave?
Big as hell, man. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars. They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
Give me a sec. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's always about dogs, isn't it? Let me tell you, if you want a dog that isn't hassle,
To be honest, I was more concerned with the
choose a
lions
dog that
than
isn't
dead
a Jack Russell. Because Jack Russells are hassle. Lovely, intelligent dogs, but they are hassle.
How come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to two Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death. I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me. as his story unfolded in my mind.
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow if I had no tears.
He said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until the venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I
Forgot
didn't
about
quite
this
get what he was
sequence.
saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
Well, what am I supposed to do there, man? Just spawned me right in the middle. Oh, there's more. Oh, I don't know what game I'm gonna play after this. Probably is the Wolfenstein games
I swear
again.
I couldn't see
It's
any
been a
way out
while.
of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle.
Let me get my ammo.
I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back. I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo-jumbo.
Mumbo-jumbo's right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, I do like
There
this
were
idea,
dozens of
but
Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens.
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, little lady.
yeah, I like this idea that he's just exaggerating it to make himself seem cooler.
Steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounding me.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded
Wow.
by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them.
Oh!
In the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before.
Yeah, cowboy
I
guns
followed
are
it, as I
just so
desperately
much
needed
cooler
to
than what
find
we've
out
got
what
now.
Grey Wolf was trying to tell me. But it was
Had
like
some
that
actual
son of a
skill
bitch
to it.
disappeared into thin air.
You know, like getting a revolver and just fanning the blade, fanning the gun.
Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty.
Man, let me tell you, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was such a good film.
Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
And that's like the best thing Marvel's put out in like
make you out to
3
be something
years.
you're not.
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand. Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of right.
I did my best, sir. We all did. It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob 2 banks at the same time. 2 banks on the same damn street. Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always writing him about how he had no ambition. Oh, you're nobody next to Jesse
Oh, so thanks for
James,
pushing me
she
out the
said.
way.
Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up.
Right. It's always the woman's fault.
Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property.
Holy hell, how'd I miss him?
Brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. Make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months, and now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. You just wait, son of a bitch.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals. One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting. From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did.
Oh man, it's hot today as well. It's cloudy, but it's hot.
Brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this
I don't know
wild
how Texans do it. Then again, I don't really know how anyone chooses to live in Texas, but...
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free.
Is that
Jim
Silas
Boone,
Greaves?
Davy Crockett,
Son of a
who died
bitch!
defending the Alamo.
I'm gonna kill you dead. Dodge a damn bullet?
Alright.
Over there!
I don't know why... Yeah.
That's Silas Greaves. What the hell?
Blam! Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons.
I wish we got another Ghost Rider
His name?
film.
Silas Greaves.
That would have been...
Dust finally settled.
Because the first one was
The
good.
last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it
The
happened.
first Ghost Rider... Well, it wasn't good. It was okay. Had a lot of potential.
It was early evening, not high noon.
Sorry, got texts in it.
I was late to the party
You
and
know I'm
Coffeeville
all
was
about
already
that
up in
text,
arms.
about that text. No trouble. Right, cool, yeah.
The Daltons blew up a safe and were all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies.
Oh, ragdolls are always funny, man.
I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. And finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends in Coffeeville.
You're gonna need a cannon. There you go. Hey, we got it to eat. What's the rules in 'em?
Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions.
That's a decent episode of
I caught
Doctor
sight of the
Who.
Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons hold
No
up the
matter
same
what the man
No, it was
says.
the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons. And they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, because those 2 families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths. pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeyville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
Yeah, that's always been strange to me, the idea of generational feuds.
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up.
I mean, at some point you'd
Those Daltons
just get
weren't
bored
the
with it,
sharpest
wouldn't
knives
you?
in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least two of them to escape. The third brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work. It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Greaves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. And I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
I'm gonna cut you.
Nine! Ah!
All you got. I'm gonna plant you where you stand.
Oh. There we go.
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all
Put
those
all them damn
holes
holes in them. Yeah, it's weird how many,
But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
yeah, it's weird that the human body can survive so much stuff sometimes. Like getting stabbed through the eye into the head, you know what I mean?
We'll get those suckers.
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this.
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
We'll track him to the ends of the earth.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks.
No matter what the
It was
man
autumn.
says.
The maple trees were in full color, red as blood.
I'd like to go Canada, to be honest.
The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Canada looks nice. It's just a shame about all the terrible politics, I guess.
Bury them in the smoke. Plant them where they stand.
Except for some bitches
Like,
ahead of me
imagine
wanting to do
having
me harm.
involuntary
So I had to face 'em
euthanasia
alone.
as part of your healthcare service.
I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
Oh, he's on there, right. Oh, what? Oh, I couldn't see the bullet. It's not my fault. That wasn't my fault either.
The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
Oh, damn, man. Oh, you can melee in this? Oh, cool. I didn't even know that. Seems a bit pointless, but...
Kill him for Christ's sake!
Point being, I was under serious attack, and my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen.
Oh. But yeah, that Fable game just... I don't know, it looks... It looks like another failed adaptation, if you know what I mean. Looks like it's gonna be another Witcher situation.
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view, but just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze.
Imagine having
Pretty
Henry
soon I had
Cavill.
no goddamn idea where
and
I
you'd
was.
fucking lose him.
Steve?
It's happened a lot.
So
They
I
had him
just
for
started
Superman.
walking, and pretty soon
They made him play a terrible Superman. He got annoyed, and then he didn't get to play it again.
Steve!
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
Indians? They were Indians?
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
And then The Witch, like, I tried to watch the first episode of The Witcher, but I just could not get into it, really.
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their
But
cousins.
I heard Cavill
Kansans breed like
did a
rabbits.
good job with it.
More Smiths or Heimhoffers
Just
or who
everything
knows
else about it was terrible.
what. But hell, what's more important than family? I bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
mean, I'm sorry, but when you've got Eastern European folklore and it looks like that, you know it's gonna be bad. In the same way that if you did African folklore and you just had a bunch of like white people in it, it just ruins the vibe and the aesthetic. How have I not killed him? What? A man with the mansion. Ah, that was my bad. I pressed the wrong way. Oh. Oof. Damn. How many rounds do they have? You just stood there rapid firing. Might as well get the extra points.
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere.
But yeah, I'm excited to see
Together against
Carol in
anyone who would threaten them.
Warhammer 40k. I wonder what everyone else is gonna do from
And that's when I saw it. A
from the
goddamn
DCEU.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Yes, it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was then that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Oh. Yeah, that Batfleck costume. When you look at it from the back, it looks fine, but all that armor plating stuff, I don't know, it just looks, yeah, looks pretty bad.
Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
You can have armor on the Batsuit, just not like that.
too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Oh, I have to climb it? Okay, that's dumb, but... Taking away the moments to make up a dull day. I'd say that's one of the only good things about,
Much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons.
That's one of the best things
after months of dogged pursuit.
About,
turned out that they had me.
about the Flash. The way they used, Time by Pink Floyd.
The Daltons had played
Everything
me
else
like
was
a
bad,
fiddle.
but...
Apparently the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in a
Did you
fight.
hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
You're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed big. I don't think it'll even float.
So anyway...
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
Oh, God.
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Greaves?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. It was time to settle this once and for all.
Now this would be so cool back in the day. Just hopping onto one of these and just letting rip.
Weren't about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together.
Ah.
Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Oh, come on. I adjusted my hand position for fastest draw, man. this. I can do this.
They got it wrong.
There we go.
A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds.
Yeah, drawn mechanics in games like
14
this.
years later, he moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
And the tragic death. It's not really a tragic death, though, is it? Well,
My own brothers died tragically as well.
I'm probably just gonna pack it in after this cutscene for a little bit.
It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right there,
Yeah,
I
that'd
swore
be
to
horrible.
myself that I would avenge them. Ringo, you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
Oh.
I've
Right.
been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the
I
Bighorn
think
Mountains.
I'm going to
Led by Butch Cassidy.
pack it
They
in
were
for a
loose
little bit,
association of outlaws
but
who
I'll
robbed
be
banks and
doing
trains
this
from
later on in the
Colorado
day.
to Montana.
I just got some other
Among
stuff to
them was
do.
the Sundance Kid.
Oh.
That murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Well,
Part of that
if
giant
anyone's
Pinkerton
watching
posse
this,
after the
whatever,
Wild
thank
Bunch?
you, and
No, boy.
yeah.
A circus like that would have slowed
See you in
me
a bit,
down.
I guess.
Besides,